Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with co-host James Mason. Good morning, James. How are you doing today?
Todd, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. It's nice to see the break in our weather and moving towards spring season here in Michigan.
I mean, I hate the warmer weather. Absolutely hate it.
You hate normal weather?
The warmer weather.
Oh, the warmer weather, yeah. I mean, well, I think you're in a different climate zone. When you live in the equator, it gets a little sweaty there.
Yeah, like you can't get cold enough for me.
Right.
And before anybody says in the comments, "Oh, you got to live in such and such place," I literally lived in the coldest place on the earth. So
It's true.
Save your breath on that one.
You shared some of those stories. Look at the market and the action. It looks very, very slow, very dead today. And I think it has a lot to do with the FOMC meetings coming up later today.
Which means it's going to be choppy. Basically, it doesn't matter if you're long or short. You're probably going to lose today. If you're trading options, more likely. That's why I'm not trading options today. The FOMC days are, golly, they're the hardest to trade with options. Literally, man, if you get caught at the wrong time and that algo from the Wall Street algo comes in, it will mess up your premiums. Even if it rips it down, let's just say hypothetically, you're bullish. And we'll talk about, we'll just say the SPY. You're bullish on SPY and you're day trading it. And then the Wall Street algo rips it up, so those premiums are looking nice. And then it rips it right back down. So then it messes up your shit. But then let's just say it starts to go back up, back to the same value to where it was to begin with before it took over. Your premiums are out of whack at that point. And, just like with shares, the premiums, yes, they are controlled by the market makers, but at the same time, it's controlled by market makers based off of supply and demand. And that comes down to people willing to buy those options. And if a lot of people get smoked on them, then there's less people to buy them. So those premiums won't be as good as what they once were. So that's what sucks about trading options on FOMC days. And today I'm going to bow out of that match and not touch it.
Smart. It sounds like a smart strategy when dealing with options.
I mean, even if, again, hypothetically, let's just, we'll mention the SPY again because it's heavily influenced by these FOMC meetings. Let's say if I was bullish on the SPY today, which I'm not, and it, I'm winning, it don't matter, or whatever it is, I'm not even going to bother to take that trade today. And this is just me personally. I'm not even going to bother trading options today doing that because I know that I can skip today. And if SPY wants to run 15 damn points, I'm okay with missing all of it because guess what? I can trade tomorrow. I can trade Friday. I can trade Monday. And that's what it's all about, is being able to live and trade another day. Because let's say if I would jump in there and the market doesn't do what I feel like it should do, because at the end of the day, the market doesn't care about your feelings and, it completely wrecks me. Well, that's going to limit my potential for trading tomorrow, trading Friday. And what if it was so bad that something happened where it blew up my account or something, I could have avoided it knowing, I know that today is going to be choppy. So why fight against it? So that's my take on today with day trading options.
All right.
Man, what else do we have on the menu today? We had
Turtle Beach.
Yeah, Turtle Beach. I mean,
if you saw my newsletter I sent out this morning, the Donerail Group publicly put a PR out that they're asking for a full board reset. So I think I don't know where they're at in their strategy of a battle, but I think there was shots taken with that letter.
Yes, most definitely. So we're looking at Turtle Beach right now on the daily chart. It is ticker HEAR. And you can see how this is chopping around. And the only reason why I'm in this damn thing is because of this hostile takeover. Now, I don't even care. I have shares in this. I don't care what the PPS value is right now, because in order for, like, nothing is guaranteed in the stock market. Let me be clear about that up front. But historically, and what logically makes sense, and I hate to even use that word when talking about the stock market, logically, when there's a hostile takeover, especially like something that is beaten down at this point, like Turtle Beach, with how this is actually set up with this hostile takeover, the only way that the leadership in Turtle Beach can actually win this takeover is if they get the PPS value up. And if they don't, well, Don Rail's going to win this proxy vote, this proxy battle, and he's going to fire the entire board and replace them with his own people. But what happens a lot of times, almost all the time, and who knows, this could be the time that it doesn't happen. But this is also why I have shares here. What usually happens is, regardless of who's going to win or lose, this goes back to the old saying of buy the rumor, sell the news. Obviously, it's not a rumor; it's happening. But though, what that actually means is, when there's talk, you buy. You know, when they're talking. But when the event happens or when it's about to happen, that's when you sell. In my experience, it's always worked out best to sell before the event takes place, because Todd, I mean, you've seen it so many times as well, like especially in the the bio world, where the whole buy the rumor, sell the news, where the news comes out and it's great news and it tanks.
It makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
Makes no sense at all. But and since you're right, so you have to just strategize your trade or plan your trade a little bit differently, because you know that's a real possibility.
Yeah, that's why, like with the bio stocks, especially bio stocks, one reason why I like to trade bio stocks is because of how volatile they are. There's always some news that comes with them, whether it's, you know, something that's just fluff or BS, a pump and dump, don't matter. There's always some news with a bio stock. But if you guys notice, when I hit my target prices with bio stocks, shit, I'm done. I mean, think about APOP back in the day. When I hit my target price on news that wasn't even the news I was waiting for, the news actually came a month later, if I remember correctly. They did release a different catalyst that wasn't even on my radar. They actually didn't even have like any filings or anything talking about it. And if they did, it was so far back that I didn't even go back that far to look it up. But they had another catalyst that dropped, and it went up and it hit my target price dead on, and I was done. I didn't jump back in to chase it again. And a month later, they announced the catalyst I was waiting for. And after it had pulled back down to where it pretty much started, it ran back up and hit that target price once again. So, like, when I hit those target prices, I'm out. It doesn't matter. I don't even wait for catalysts after that, because you just don't know. So kind of going back to Turtle Beach, man, the leadership, they have no choice but to get a white knight to come in there, and they have two Bank of America advisors who are leading the way for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if it ain't Bank of America who comes in and buys them out, which would mean that the PPS value is going to go up.
So to be clear, and I said yesterday in the StockCast that I was going to enter, and I did yesterday. I bought a starter position. My average is 21.50. We don't care if Bank of America comes in and buys them out because it drives the price up.
Okay.
And we don't care if Donerail does a proxy battle to gather the proxies to fire the board, because they're gonna move the price up.
Nope. What a beautiful world it is.
It's
like it gets back to the saying of when, if you think about like certain government agencies or even like warlords and shit like that, when they say things on the line of why support one side of the war when you can support both sides, this is it. So it's at the end of the day, it's all about winning.
Now, and I want to be really clear here. This is not an ironclad 100% guarantee trade, because the third option is Donerail could just say, you know what, we're going to move to a different battle, and they could just sell their shares quietly, and this could disappear, and there would probably be a drop in the price.
Very true. That is the risk.
Yeah, so I don't want anyone to be like, well, I'm going to go all in on Turtle Beach. It sounds like a great idea. I mean, literally, it's for me. I bought a starter position of 200 shares yesterday, so I mean, it's not. It's just another trade in my trades for this time frame.
Yep. So, and as for the people who are buying option contracts, this is why when I first talked about it, I didn't even talk about options, because we don't know when this proxy battle is going to actually happen. The proxy there, let's see, Turtle Beach's annual meeting is supposed to happen in April. Well, they haven't even announced it yet. They haven't dropped that filing to announce it for the shareholders to know. And that's because Turtle Beach, they're trying to get their shit together so they can have a chance to not be taken over here. And if they have to delay that for another 2 months, hey, you better bet your sweet ass that's what they're going to do, because they ain't trying to get fired from their sweet ass positions of taking in an income, taking in free shares from being on the board. Like, that's the last thing you want to do. I mean, like when you get on a board for a company like Turtle Beach, man, some of those executive packages, man, they're sweet deals for real. Like forget being the CEO, get on the damn board for one of these big companies.
Have you looked at their compensation package for being on the board?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, but you're right. I've looked at other ones, and it's shocking.
Yeah,
it's shocking what they get paid or
like the shares they get awarded.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean,
it's just free. It's just a gift.
Yeah, like their packages with shares, a lot of times it turns into 6-figure salaries, like at a minimum. So, and now if you're on a board for something like Apple, which, let's face it, none of us are going to be on the board for Apple or a company like that. Those are like, if you're on a board for like Apple or Boeing, you're important in the world. Like you influence the world. But their packages, Jesus, they're in the millions. So yeah, that's just kind of just some knowledge on like hostile takeovers and the situation that's going on with Turtle Beach, which is ticker HEAR, and it's worth doing some research on if you guys are interested. But I would just be wary of taking options, because again, we don't know when this proxy battle is going to officially happen, and you don't want to burn up those premiums. All right, let's talk about the main event from yesterday. Ticker,
SBFM.
Yeah, SBFM.
Another winning trade.
Definitely. All right, hold on. Let me share my chart. All right. So, SBFM, here we are yesterday. All right. So, we didn't talk about it pre-market. This was an alert yesterday, and that's why I didn't talk about it. But, I mean, it was, if you paid the slightest bit of attention to the pre-market, you knew about this ticker and it pushing up. Well, it came up here, hit a hard resistance apparently at 680 and pull back. The issue with this was, at first I did actually have it alerted at the break above 680, maybe 681. I can't remember the exact penny, but it doesn't matter for the show right here. But it didn't hit that. It hit like the 76 cent mark. And I actually alerted after that 80 cent one right there. So this candle right here, I was really watching that for the break above it, and it didn't happen. And guys, this is why I always say, like when I post an alert, I absolutely mean it to the damn penny, because pennies matter. And you can see right here, I still have my line up here from yesterday. We hit a high at 680. This next 5-minute candle, its high was 676, and then it rolled over. Well, it didn't happen, so I didn't get in, and I was cool about that because I didn't get smoked. Now, had this damn thing hit 681 and I would have entered and it happened, well, I would have been pissed. I'm not gonna lie. But that didn't happen, so I was cool with it, whatever. And then it came down here, and I made some additional alerts, and we got in, and it kind of chopped around. At the end of the day, I made a slight profit, nothing phenomenal. Took a lot of damn trades. I overtraded. And I just really got tired of it at the end of the day, chasing it. When I say that, like, it was literally at the end of the damn day. So not that it did much after that, but I decided not to hold it just because of how volatile it was yesterday. And I was afraid of holding it and getting smoked, waking up this morning and this damn thing be $3 or some shit. But thank God it didn't, for the people who decided to hold it. But Todd, how weird is it? What was the volume yesterday for it?
It was over 150 million.
And they have 4.5 million shares outstanding. So for those who don't understand what I mean by that, that means that there are a total of 4.5 million shares on the market. So think about that. Just do the math there real quick in your head. If there are 4.5 million shares on the market and there's 150 million shares traded throughout the day, and just because something is traded, that doesn't mean that people are holding all their shares. Like, someone can take a share, buy it, and then sell it, and then buy it again and sell it. If that doesn't make sense to you, then I don't know. Maybe trading ain't for y'all. But, so they had 150 million shares traded yesterday, and you can't tell me out of this entire damn world, the entire stock market, that collectively there wasn't a total of, I don't know, 4 million shares or more that people were just holding in their accounts at any given point. Because it's all about supply and demand in the market. The less supply there is, the more something should squeeze up. So how can something, and obviously the market makers came in and they did their thing yesterday. Like, they for real did their thing. Who knows how many tens of millions of dollars they made just from their high frequency traders, trading platforms, just turning this shit literally for a cent or two. And also all the commissions. There was, Todd, the last I looked, there was over 500,000 trades executed, meaning that someone executed a trade and there was over 500,000, over 500,000.
My thought is this: the information where we get the outstanding share structure is misleading, because there's no way this trades, that people are taking their profits at 620, 630, 640 and not letting this run, because everyone knows that when you have a runner, you let it run, or you put a trailing stop loss on it, or you give it a chance to breathe and to blossom. it didn't happen. Now, I did a little digging later in the day, and I found out that they did have an offering, a microshelf offering, but that was only 7.5 million shares that they were put out there. So that was gone. I mean, I'm sure that that got eaten up in that 150 million.
Okay, so right there, I mean, that already states that the data that is being presented on the market is not even accurate.
That's my point here. Is that again? We've been briefing about this. We've been beefing about how it's just hard to play this game if you don't know all the rules.
Yeah, like, and when I say it's not just my data, like the data that I bring in, I mean, I'm getting it from the most premium places. Like, y'all wouldn't, if I'm not gonna mention how much we pay in data, just because it's, we got contracts and shit. But let's just say, put it this way: the amount that we spend a month, in Transparent Traders for data, with all of our data, that you guys currently get, but more so on the StockCast social network that we're building, all of us could lease the baddest ass Lamborghini on the market in the company, like all of our mods and everybody, and that's where we'd be at.
I also just want to make we're 6 minutes to the bell, but I want to make it really clear. The information we're getting is the same information that everyone else is getting too. So there is no other better source of.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go get the better source of data. It's just not there. It's just not being accurately reported, and the accountability of that demand to have better data isn't being coming from the SEC. So we're all dealing with the same data to make these decisions, but you just have to know that sometimes, like yesterday was a clear, obvious that you have to do a little bit of a head scratch and go, this isn't making any sense. So you scale down, you limit your size, your buys, or you don't trade. You just protect your capital. But if you were following yesterday on the Twitter feed, you could have made, it should have been a winning trade for you, even though it was a small one.
Yeah, most definitely. But talking about the inaccuracy in like their reporting and shit, it goes back to what I was saying last year about GameStop. When the whole GameStop shit happened, I said publicly, I was like, they ain't gonna tolerate this shit. They will change up the game. And they have. They absolutely have. So, all right. Well, we're running out of time, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up on that note right there. Todd, do you have anything else?
Just to answer S. John's question, I did see SST yesterday. It was one of my afternoon trades. I popped it for when it was making a little run up for my winning day yesterday.
Well,
that's it.
All right. So, all right, everybody. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Remember, guys, FOMC meeting today. If you're at work, if you're at work trying to swing options, I mean, I can't tell y'all what to do, but if you can't sit there and just like stay on that thing, hey, there's always tomorrow. There's always another day. Don't even if you look back and you miss a trade, don't think about like what you missed. You always need to think about what you lost or what you potentially could lose when you enter a trade. Like when I take a trade, that's actually what I'm thinking about. I think I'm going to lose here, and if I get stopped out or if this happens, this is how much I'm going to lose. Am I okay with that? That's honestly how I think. I think about how much I'm going to lose.
I'll give you a better story. This is how you have to think. You have to think it like you're the casino, the house. And when they spin the roulette wheel and some guy hits his magic number and wins a few $1,000s, you're not worried about it, because guess what? As soon as they pay him out, we're going to spin the wheel another time.
And I do want to cap on that because I know some hater in the comments will be like, oh, James is losing. No, motherfuckers, I'm not losing. What I'm saying is, for some of you knuckle draggers out there, is that's how I approach this shit. I always think about, what am I going to lose here if I'm wrong?
Right.
And if I'm okay with that, then I trade my plan. if it's confusing for me, if I don't feel comfortable with that, then that ain't the trade for me. Or I need to lighten up on that position size. So that's how I stay successful. And then when it runs, I'll let that bad boy do his thing. And it hasn't steered me wrong. So, all right. I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Trade safe, trade smart, and we will see y'all in the next one.